things, but I think it was on the Facebook. But I'm gonna see if I can find one. But it goes in the
Gentlemen, our May 5th, 2026 Bradford County Board of County Commissioner meeting is now called to order. If you would stand, the Commissioner Reddick is going to do our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, Father, we just thank you so much for another day of life. Father, I thank you so much for all the blessings you pour out on each and every one of us, Father, every day. Thank you, dear Lord, for just allowing us to pray to you, dear Lord, this morning, the King of Kings and Lord of the Lords. And Father, this morning, too, before we start this meeting, dear Lord, I just want to lift up the Mortimer family, Father, and the loss of her husband, dear Lord. I just pray you'll please be with that family, the children, the grandchildren. Have your hand upon all of them, dear Lord. And Father, now as we go into this meeting, dear Lord, I pray for each and every person in this room. Just pray you have your hand upon them, dear Lord. Have your hand upon this board. Give us wisdom and knowledge, dear Lord, from above to make the best decisions for this county. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will begin our public comments. And just a reminder, as you see on the screen there, the instructions. But just to remind you that there are 3 minutes. And when the 3 minutes is up, if you would kindly take your seat so that we can swiftly move forward to the next person. If you would state your name and address for the record. And also, address your comments to the board as opposed to any individual person. Refrain from any boisterous, profane language, insulting, and any of that kind of thing, if you would please. And if you're just in overwhelming agreement with something and you just want to clap, 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 if you would just use the sign language for us, it will help us to just continue flowing through. All right. We're going to have Ms. Bo Hastings.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Didn't forget about this meeting like I did the last one. I want to be thankful for Dr. Steele talking about how it got snuck in with that ICE facility at the last meeting at the last minute, so I drove up here looking like crap. But anyway, I got the word across. But I guess everybody's here this morning to sing for their money for y'all. Y'all don't mind spending money, and it just, y'all need to really take a look at it and try to cut these budgets. I mean, Ms. Spooner, we spoke last September, I think 10th, when we were all outside about you were going to look at these professional services and try to cut some of them. This last budget workshop, it wasn't really a budget workshop, it was a doomsday meeting on, well, what are we going to cut if we lose property taxes, you know? Well, of course, it's all the services for the people here that we actually need, the veterans, the seniors, the library. But, you know, don't cut anything that actually helps the people, like maybe y'all paying some of your insurance, instead of it being put on the Bradford County taxpayer. But people need to be aware of how y'all spend money. You don't really care. You know, and you ask questions about stuff and you don't get an answer. The commissioners will take your phone number. They never call you back. They'll take your email address, people, and you never get an email back. You call, you never get a phone call back. It's just gaslighting, and I'm going to tell you, I'm sick of being gaslit. If I have a question, you ought to be able to answer it, and if you can't answer it, then you need to put me to the right person to ask this question, and yet I have to make a Facebook video to get a text back to say, oh, well, I brought it to the last meeting. Well, why'd you take my phone number if you were going to just bring the stuff to the next meeting? Because I've been interested in this gas tax. You know, we got more gas stations. Gas is going up. We should be making plenty of money, but you can't find it nowhere. And, you know, you have meetings where you say, well, we're going to have the guy over the road department put a sign up so people can see how much we're getting, and nope, nothing, just being gaslit. We are so tired of the gaslighting. The people of Bradford County, the taxpayers, the hardworking people, we are tired of being gaslit. We want to know where our money's going, And we want to know that it's being spent on something good instead of garbage, like you've been spending it on, and a bunch of it's garbage, because we're going to see how many people's here singing for their money this morning that I don't think it should be on the taxpayers' dime. And y'all need to get right, because God's watching, and I'm telling you, time's a ticking. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Paul Still.
Paul Still, 14167 Southwest 101st Avenue, Stark. Wanted to speak with you this morning about the Cypress Run boat ramp. It was part of the county manager's county report at the last meeting, and there was a slide in there and it says all permitting now complete. I did not see any documentation about the actual dredging of the canal that's necessary for the boat ramp. There is something in there that says that the Army Corps of Engineer permit determined that there was no permit needed, but I think that may have been for the actual on-the-ground boat ramp construction, not the canal that was dug. It also said FWC construction grant submitted April 2026. When I emailed the Fish and Wildlife Commission and asked for a copy of the grant application, they wrote me back saying Bradford County did not submit their application by the deadline. So it's not clear at this point whether there is actually an application pending. So if there's no application pending, then obviously that project cannot go forward. So I would hope that you would ask staff at some point where the Cypress Run boat ramp stands. As I've mentioned in the past, I have serious concerns about the design of that boat ramp. The big concern is the dredging of a new canal. Again, I don't believe that you can get a permit for that from the Army Corps of Engineers. And it is a significant environmental impact on Lake Sampson. If you go out to Lake Sampson today, you will actually be able to see that the design for the boat ramp canal doesn't go out far enough into the lake, so that you actually would not be able to launch a boat now or during significant times when we have dry weather, because the canal ends at a point where the boats would be running into very, very shallow water. So that's a very serious design flaw. Again, it's very simple to design a system that would use the old boat ramp. That would not require a permit because it would be just a simple maintenance issue. The other important issue that needs to be considered is you now have a grant to repave the road, and that, because that road alignment is not correct at this point, there's going to be some major changes in that area, so those need to be considered when you go into making your application. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we'll have Kate Ellison.
Thank you, Commissioners. Kate Ellison, 971 Southeast 32nd Way, Melrose, Florida. Thank you for exercising your wise judgment at the last meeting to stick to your plan of evaluating all the options for the use of the Douglas building. Sorry I missed it. The lease you were presented at that meeting was not ready. It left you with too much liability. And may I remind you, the cost analysis done by a professional shows that you risk losing quite a bit of money if you move forward with the detention center. The other option you have is one that represents real growth and diversification for our community. Surely most of you prefer working with small businesses over government expansion anyway. Many fewer headaches, and in this case, fewer ethical entanglements. The president was elected to lock up murderers and thieves, hardened criminals, he said, and ICE has detained many of those. ICE is also detaining families, grandparents, parents, and children, women and girls. We do not need more prison camps for the criminals because there are not hundreds of thousands of them. This government overreach is at its worst. It's morally bankrupt, and our county is better off because your good judgment not to be rushed into something so questionable. That letter of intent you received on behalf of OM Imports presents the advantage of providing payment while you clean up the brownfield around the Douglas building. Our county, and especially the residents, plants, and animals living near this site, needs this remediation. What an opportunity this could be. These two proposals are night and day. Please choose the daylight. I have a few more petition signatures.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Kimberly Jenkins.
My name is Kimberly T. Jenkins. My address is 4920 Southeast County Road 18, Stark, Florida 32091. I say I live in Hampton all my life. I have questions regarding the funding for the SHIP program and the determination of who receives the funding. I did call and I spoke with the manager over that department, and I was giving information to contact someone with Swanee River Economic Council because my question was about roofing, roofs and doors, because I was thinking that funding was coming in from the state or grants were being accepted. And I was given false information because when I contacted Swanee River Economic Council, they did inform me that they do have services for seniors over at the Andrews Circle, but that they have not provided any funding in 4 to 5 years. And so that the funding is dispersed through the county commissioners because Bradford County is different than other counties as to how the funding comes in. And so then my questions are regarding that, the funding that comes in, the determination of who the recipients are. I was told that there are 10 homes or 10 residents, 10 homes that are chosen each year. And so then I was asking questions like, well, when does the fiscal year start? And so then those are still my questions. When does the fiscal year start? The determination of the homes, and if those people aren't chosen because it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If 5 of those people, do you go on to the next 5? And those are my questions. I think that was 3 of them. The fiscal year, how is the determination, and have those homes been chosen for the fiscal year? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Vianda Strong.
My name is Vianda Strong, Post Office Box 530, Lawdy, Florida 32058. As I've come in here before, many times, but today I come in with a list of people that are going to sing for their supper. And I'm glad that there's a list of people that are going to sing for their supper. Because on this list are names of individuals. There are some individuals that don't generally have to sing. And there are others that are on here that need to sing for their supper. One in particular is on here that you've been told has not complied with your wishes. And you have fire rescue that has told you on more than one occasion that they're not cooperating with them, and you've asked every time they've given you a report, are they cooperating with the paramedicine program? Are they helping with that program? And they tell you, no, they're not. Me as a taxpayer, I don't think that my taxpayer dollars should continue to go to that program when they're not cooperating. They continue to have excuse after excuse after excuse as to why they can't provide the services that are needed. It's one thing to have the opioid money, which you can give them, but it's another to give our taxpayer dollars to them. So I think that they should explain why they continue not to cooperate with the paramedicine program. The other is the chamber. We never hear exactly what they're doing with our taxpayer dollars. They come in, they give you a handwritten statement, and we never exactly hear what it is that they're doing with our taxpayer dollars. Yes, they're on whatever committees or whatever, but I think that we should hear, just like the other committees, the other recipients, exactly what they're doing with these dollars as a taxpayer before you give this money. Just like you make the others, you should make them tell you exactly each year what you're doing with my taxpayer dollars.
Thank you. That's all of the comment cards. Did I miss anyone's comment card? If not, we're moving forward with our approval for the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for approval for the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
A motion by Commissioner Reddick. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrews. All right. If any further questions or discussion? If not, all in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. And moving on, next is our proclamation declaring May 11th through the 17th, 2026 as Law Enforcement Week in Bradford County. The proclamation reads, whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th to 2026 as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which May 11 through 17, 2026 falls as National Police Week, and whereas the members of the law enforcement agencies of Bradford County play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedom of Bradford County, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the law enforcement agencies of Bradford County unceasingly provide a vital public service, now therefore, the Bradford County Board of County Commissioners on the 5th day of May 2026 call upon all citizens of Bradford County and upon all patriots, civic and educational organizations to observe the week of May 11th through the 17th, 2026 as Law Enforcement Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observance in which all of our people may join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. We further call upon all citizens of Bradford County to observe May 15, 2026 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes, and witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Bradford County to be affixed. And this will be by the Board of County Commissioners, myself as chair, and the clerk, Denny Thomas. So you hear the proclamation. Do I have a motion for approval of the proclamation?
I make a motion that we approve the proclamation.
A motion by Commissioner Andrews. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Thompson. Any further discussion or questions? If not, all in-
Actually, I do.
okay.
This is a very important thing to me that it's recognized just today, May the 5th. In 1981, a dear friend of mine, his name was Sergeant Steve Denard, was brutally stabbed to death in the Rock at Union Correctional Institution. Folks said these people, when they put those uniforms on, whether it be in a prison or in our sheriff's department, they put their life on the line every day for us. So please, when you see them, let them know how much we appreciate them. Thank you, Ms. Bennett.
Any other further discussion? I have a motion and a second. All in favor by the sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. And next we have asking for approval of gas tax fund to resurface the Northeast 15th Place, Northeast 161st Street, Southwest 161st Street, Northwest 182nd Way, Northwest 177th Avenue, and Southeast 28th Street. And I just would like to have a little discussion before we take the motion. And Mr. Dodge, you can go ahead and do the presentation.
Yes, ma'am. So I felt obligated to bring up some necessary repairs to our currently paved asphalt infrastructure. And the reason I'm bringing it to y'all's awareness is I would like to move that up in the priority list, not removing the 3 chip seal roads that we have not completed yet, but just moving these asphalt roads that need to be resurfaced up and then falling back to do the chip seal afterwards.
Well, the concern I have, Mr. Dodge, and I trust your judgment and things, but I did drive through those areas, and some can wait until the other roads are done first. I know that would kind of bump them up to the priority, but for example, the Northeast 15th Place and 161st, they're located near the country club area. They're all paved. They do need a little maintenance. Same thing for 182nd Way, 161st Northwest is out towards the Brooker area near the Baptist. It's a long residential area, all paved, but Southeast 28th is over in the Lake Geneva area. All of these areas have paving. It won't cause any health or safety issues if they waited a little bit. But if the other roads, those dirt roads with the partial millings, are not prioritized and done first, it's going to cause a health and safety for the people who reside in those areas. And to me, we should put the health and safety first, and if we have the extra, then do the other ones. I know all of our roads have to be maintained, but we have to give priority to these roads that are impeding the transportation from our first responders, ambulances, and whenever we have inclement weather, roads like 173 or 171 washes away and causes there to be difficulty in reaching them, and then you guys have to do a lot more to keep them up. So my position is to not to boot them out first, to do the cosmetic things. But I think that we need to give priority to those roads that are really in critical situations that need attention to. For example, 177th, that's dirt with all of the dust that cause respiratory issues. 19 Northeast 19 Lane, and Lauder is Paul Lane. Strawberry Acres is 204 and Northeast 20th Avenue. It's Carter Road, 227 and 6th Avenue, and Northeast 7th Avenue. And the Pleasant Grove areas, 59th, 58th, 59th Loop, 48th, and Hampton. In the areas of Southeast 46th Avenue, 45th, and 101st, these are areas in which people are having to breathe in a lot of particles from the dust of the roads. And to me, we need to give priority to these roads first, do the cosmetic things later. In District 5 off of 100, you've got Southwest 75th Avenue, you have 64th Avenue. All of those have the I call it dust,
Lime rock.
the lime rock. So when you drive down those roads, it causes all of this emission that affects people's health and livelihood. So in my mind, that these roads should take priority over the ones that are cosmetic. It's kind of like having a facelift when your arm is broke. Which one do you choose? I'm saying repair the broken limb, repair those roads that need to be done, that cause health and safety issues for the people first.
Yes, ma'am. No, and I understand what you're saying. I will say that I think we've done a really good job of taking dirt to asphalt or dirt to chip seal. I know last year and this year alone, we've done over 25 dirt to asphalt or chip seal, not counting our FDOT grants that went from dirt to asphalt. I will tell you the reason I bring this up and I bring this current paved asphalt infrastructure to you is because you have reflecting cracks that you have water impeding into that base material, and once it gets beyond that, then it is a lot more cost to go in there and reconstruct that base and then reconstruct that road. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up to y'all. Just want to make you aware of it.
Yes, sir. And then the question is, for those particular ones, what, I guess what priority to, that was applied to select those particular, because there are others that are similarly or in worse condition than these?
Absolutely. A lot of it has to do with population, how many homes, how many residents it serves. Is it a cut through from 16 to 229, which is a heavy traveled area? Yes, ma'am. So that was kind of the priority and what I thought I could fit into the budget.
Yes, sir. And I'm not here to criticize you. You've done an outstanding job with the resources that we have. But when I drive through all of our areas, for me, it's not just my area, it's all of our areas. When I drive through, I look at the areas that are, in my estimation, as the most critical and the one that are causing us the most problems.
And that's how we prioritize it. And I can tell you there's not any one person besides me that would like to see every road here paved. But we're working in that direction. We just got to do baby steps and eat it like an elephant, one bite at a time. But we're getting there. We've covered a lot of miles in the past couple of years.
Yes, you did.
And I agree. But I think those other roads that need the chip sealing and paving first should be done first, and then wait on the cosmetic ones here. Now, 177th Avenue, because also they have the sidewalk project from DOT, it should be done right away, because it was told to the citizens, and you thought it, and I thought it, and everybody on the board thought that that was included in the DOT project that extends from 16 to 229.
Yes, ma'am, and that happened once they made it a LAP project, and then it no longer was eligible for resurfacing under LAP.
But those are the concerns that I had, that we should prioritize those critical roads first and then do the cosmetic.
Well, I can say Southwest 161st Street, the section he's talking about is less, I don't think it's a quarter of a mile, is it, Jason? But they just cut timber off of an area there, and those trucks have destroyed that little section of property. it too was one that when they paved 161st, ran out of asphalt, did not pave that area, so it's been there like that for years, and it is in really bad shape.
Yes, ma'am, that was prior to my time coming here.
Yes,
And
sir.
apparently they ran out of funding because they only paved 3/4 of the road, and this would be
Right.
the other quarter that ranked high on the priority list because they went out there and logged out there, and that road's deteriorated quite a bit, and it's just a small section that was not resurfaced back 10 years ago.
Okay, so it's not the entire 161st, it's
No,
just
ma'am.
that little section that intersects with 235, because I drove out to look at all of these roads.
Yeah.
235 to 161st.
It'll be 235 to 144th, which takes you to New River Baptist Church.
Okay, so not the rest of the 5 miles of.
No, ma'am.
No, not at all. And I will, isn't it 101st that goes down to Sampson City Church of God?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to throw that in the road, and I don't know if y'all have ridden, but out at Sampson City, that road, because of some work that was done, it is being destroyed. That road is cracking off on the sides. I mean, it's in bad shape.
Yeah, this section you're actually talking about is 225. We actually went in there and put lime rock shoulders on that road to help hold it up, to try to buy us some more time on it.
Okay, but it's really bad.
Yes, ma'am.
So one other question, I know that 225 that you're speaking of would also intersect with 163, the one that has gotten the grant funding. They would eventually intersect
Yes,
with
ma'am.
each other. Okay.
Madam Chair, I just want to remind the board that we did at one point ask our Public Works Director to go through and prioritize the roads. And it went from the roads that we have our wish list every year for DOT, scrap, and SCOP funding. And then it went to our existing paved roads that over time degrade because they have been there for as long as they have. And as Mr. Dodds mentioned, the failure of the base material there, right now you're looking at doing just a mill and resurface versus going back and doing a full depth reclamation. So the cost to put that off, again, is significant, and I think that's what Mr. Dodds is trying to tell us. And certainly, I'll give him all the credit because, again, we've asked him and tasked him with doing these things and evaluating and prioritizing, and so therefore, I'm all for the list that he has here and moving forward, with those roads and resurfacing those roads, and then continuing to do the chip seal on the other roads as the funding and the time for the contractor becomes available. So with that, if you need a motion to approve, I would make that motion to approve.
Yeah, we will in a minute. Just any other further
Madam
discussion?
Chair, let me just say, if I make a motion and then whether it dies or whether it goes to a second, and then we have time to discuss at that point. And
Well,
that's
we were
typically-
having a discussion, Commissioner Doherty, and I was allowing the rest of the board to make their comments before we received the motion.
Okay.
And that's
Well-
that's what I'm asking now, if there were any further discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, I got something to say. I agree with what Commissioner Daughtry's saying, because I've talked with Jason about this quite a bit, and, and he is our road superintendent. He knows more about roads than anybody in this room here, and I also know that he actually contacted DOT to see if they would go out there and do a complete study on it, but they didn't have time at the moment. But, and all they were gonna do was just go out there and do a visual. And Jason's just as qualified as any one of the ones that test roads at DOT to do a visual. And so anyway, with that too, I can't speak for all the roads, but I do know that I believe it's Southeast 28th. It's really more of a cold patch road than it is a asphalt road, because it's been patched so many times. Just coming in, there's patches everywhere. So that just tells me the road is just totally falling apart. And and if we just keep waiting and waiting, and sure, I'd like to get a lot more roads chip sealed. I really would. I understand where you're coming. But if we don't take care of these roads that are already paved, and then 2 or 3 or 4 years from now, we go back and try and repave them, and it costs a lot more money, then we're not really going in the right direction. So I'm leaning on Jason's expertise as to what he's recommending. And like I said, when he first told me about this, I wasn't super excited about it, but the more I talked to Jason and listened to what he was saying, I understand where he's coming from. So that's all I got to say. And thanks for spending the time to look at all this.
Well, and again, I want to be very clear. Those chip seal roads are just as important to me. My job and my duty is to make the board aware of some situations with other infrastructure, and if I don't do that, you're not aware of it. And so that's why I felt like it was important to prioritize it, bring it before y'all. But again, I want to see as many dirt roads turned to chip seal or asphalt as well as anybody else does. So.
Mr. Dodson, I appreciate all that you do, and I know you go above and beyond. I was just looking at those other areas that are suffering greatly.
Yes.
And with that, those are my comments, and we had Commissioner Doherty, if you want to go ahead and state your
Yes,
motion.
I will offer a motion that we approve moving forward with the roads that Mr. Dodds has evaluated and has put on the list to resurface.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Doherty, second by Commissioner Reddick. Any further questions or discussion? If not, all in favor sign aye,
Aye.
and 1 nay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carried by 4-1. All right. And now we have the approval for the application for a historic marker at the Bradford County Health Department honoring Joyce Reichert. Ms. Reichert worked at the health department when I was a little kid. And the original marker was there just across from the park off of Church Street, which is now a nursing home, or what do you call it, an assisted living facility. That's where she worked. And our office tried very diligently to reach out to the facility to allow the marker to be put there, but did not hear anything back. And this was, done some months back. And because they haven't gotten back to them, this has been since February, the historic group has been waiting. So now they're just saying, go ahead and put it down at the health department off of Temple. So we'll ask for the board approval to allow the marker to go there.
I make a motion to approve the application for the historical marker
Okay,
at the Bradford County Health Department honoring Ms. Ryder.
okay. Motion by Commissioner Doherty, is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion or question? All in favor by the sign aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Now, the moment that you've all been waiting for, our organization 2026 fiscal year budget request from the community organizations is coming up now, and I guess Scott will, I'll turn it over to you if you want.
Yes,
Present
ma'am.
each one.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. So as you can see, we have a list of outside organizations that are here to present, requesting funding from the Board of County Commissioners. First up, we have the UF IFAS program. Ms. Whitehead.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you? I'm Lizzie Whitehead. I'm the Livestock and Natural Resources Agent at the UF IFAS Extension Office in Bradford County, and I also coordinate this event through 4-H, Bradford County 4-H. And I just wanted to request some funding to help support this event. As you can see, these are pictures from last year's event. It went really well, and we had a lot of youth involved locally, and some kids that were out of county as well participated. Do you want to go to the next slide, Amanda? Perfect. So I am requesting for our next event in 2027, $2,500. It was the same request as last year, and this event is open to all 4-H and FA members who show beef cattle. This helps give our local kids an opportunity to practice showing their projects before they go into the county fair. And it brings revenue for local businesses, for people who come out of the county to stay at hotels. We have vendors there who sell food. They also sell t-shirts and different things. So we try to bring as much revenue to the local community and make this a huge event. All proceeds, if we profit anything, it goes to our Bradford County 4-H Association, and I'll show you some pictures of what events that money goes towards. So this past year in 2026, we had a little over 100 exhibitors participate. 141 head of cattle were there at the Bradford County Fairgrounds, and about 550 visitors were there between Friday and Saturday. And we also had 32 businesses support this event, whether it was donation of items and prizes or money. So it's a really well-recognized event that people come to from year to year, and new families come to as well. I bring in a judge that doesn't know any of the families to give their best opinion of the animals. And we have showmanship classes, and also we have cattle classes as well. So just to go over what it costs to put on a cattle show. For us, it costs $12,500. That's between facility costs, hiring a judge, also insurance and banners and buckles. So all this money goes back to the kids into this event. So it costs a lot to do this event, and that's why I'm requesting these funds today. And anything we profit from this event, it goes to our Bradford County livestock judging team that I coach. It also goes to any 4-H camps that we put on, any events that our 4-H agent puts on, Miss Bailey, and our shotgun team as well. So this is our big fundraiser of the year. So we have to make some kind of profit to be able to do all these events for the kids locally. And I just wanted to thank you for your support last year, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. It was a huge helpful to get everything I needed to get for this event to make it happen. And I wanted to thank our fair manager, Ms. Harley, for her help with this event, her learning what we've done in the past, and also making it easier for me to put this event on, and also Jason Dodds from the road department, helping with all the little things that I needed from him to make this event go. So just wanted to thank all of them as well. And that is all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
I have some comments.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank you, Lizzie, for always being there, always working extremely hard in what you do. You are a true leader, and it is shown every time we see you. The kids are the future.
They are.
And bringing them up right, teaching them things, teaching them about being dependable and being committed to something. And it's amazing what you guys do. And I just want to thank all of you. But thank you for being the leader that you are.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Lizzie, I have a question, and great job, by the way, for everything you've done so far.
Thank you.
On the shotgun team, do you guys do a clay shoot? Do you guys do a fundraising event for a clay shoot?
No, I don't believe that they currently do one, but that would be definitely a good thing for them to do as a fundraiser, because there's a lot of costs involved in supplying the ammo. But I know the NRA gives our 4-H agent applies for grants for those, and then they supply some of that. So the NRA is really supportive of our program. So that may be, but if there's ever another need to do a fundraiser, that is a really good event that we could do.
That'd be really good.
So thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the ARC of Bradford County.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
My name is John Williams. I'm with the ARC of Bradford County, and I just wanted to take a minute and just say thank you for your support that you've given over the years. We very much appreciate it. Wanted to highlight a couple of programs that we have going on currently, just to let you know some of the things that we're doing to give back to the community. So we have partnered with the community resource hubs and Feeding Northeast Florida to do food distributions. We believe in creating opportunities for our clients to give back to the community. And so through that, over the past year, we've been able to feed 2,800 individuals through our 6 food distributions. Again, it's an opportunity for people of all abilities to come and partner together to really create a better community at large. One of our most recent projects that we've started, we're partnering with the Bradford County Health Department, Food for Kids, Bradford County Schools, to house the backpack feeding program. If you're not familiar with that program, it provides food to students over the weekends who may not have access to resources. So really creates an opportunity again for our clients to give back to the community. We're a nonprofit. We continue to look for other funding sources, but we do appreciate the support that the commission has given in the past and look forward to that continued support. So again, I want to thank you. We do have our summer gala this year. I know last year we celebrated our 50th anniversary. It was on the night of the commission meeting, so you weren't able to attend, but we moved it this year to a different night. So it's going to be July 23rd, and would love to have you all attend if you're able to be there. So again, thank you. At this time, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Any questions from the board? Mr. Williams?
I just have a question. How's the woodworking shop and the survey stakes and all that? You guys pushing those out and doing well with that?
So again, that's another opportunity for our clients to be gainfully employed and really create an opportunity for them to be contributing citizens. In the wood shop, we do sell survey stakes, pallets, picnic tables. We also do raised planer boxes. I believe that was a suggestion that Commissioner Spooner, had. Picnic tables, we're getting ready to, I think this Friday, we're delivering a couple of picnic tables to the new boat ramp pavilion that is there on Lake Santa Fe. With the economy, we've seen kind of a dip on some of those things, but it's still actively one of the businesses that we operate.
Good. Thank you.
I do thank you a lot for the picnic tables for the Santa Fe Boat Ramp Pavilion. That's a big hit down there. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and just as a shout out, just want to thank the commissioner, Rotary Club of Stark, if you remember, did write some grants and put that together. So we're excited to be a part of that.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, John.
Okay. And next we'll have Swanee River Economic Council.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Matt Pearson. I'm the Director of the Swanee River Economic Council. And just so you know, I'm sure you guys are aware of this, we also provide transportation services. Last year we provided around 10,000 trips in Bradford County. We help people with the light bills, etc. Today I'm here to talk about senior services. We requested roughly $6,400 to offset our cost that we do to provide senior services in your county. With those monies, we're able to provide respite services for families with Alzheimer's. We do home delivered meals. We provide meals at a congregate meal site. We do home cleaning and different services for seniors in need around Bradford County. And again, just as the last gentleman said, we really have appreciated the working relationship we've had with the Board of County Commissioners here for decades, and I hope that relationship continues. So if you have any questions for me and the services we provide, I'd be happy to answer those for you.
Any question from the board?
No, I just want to say, because I sit on the Transportation Disadvantage Board with Matt, and also with, with Lynn Franson from the Planning Council. And I will tell you, they do a fantastic job of getting rides and meals and everything for our disadvantage. It's just a great program, and thank you so much for all you do. And too, Board, they're always looking for different ways to serve more people and provide more services for the citizens of Bradford County. Excellent program. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Ridick, and I think Scott's here.
Yeah, Scott.
Lynn's boss, so it's a good working connection. And thank you guys for your support.
I just want to say thank you for what you do. I see you guys traveling and taking people to their medical appointments all the time. And without you, I'm not sure what they would do. And it's just very fortunate that we have this in our community. So thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for saying those kind words. I'll relay that information to the staff. They work awfully hard at getting people from point A to point B safely.
We do. And I will say this, because we get reports, quarterly reports, and we hardly ever see a complaint. It's a very, very smooth, great run operation. So thank you for that.
I will share that information. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a nice day.
You too. Next, we'll have the Skillman's Post. Chief Executive Officer Lenny Watson.
Good morning.
Morning.
Commissioners. Let me start by passing these out since I don't have much time. This is a forward token of our appreciation. My wife makes those cookies from scratch. We have those are our original recipes and they've been approved. Feel free to check them out. If you check out the QR code, all the proceeds will go to Skillman's Post. My name is Lenny Watson. I am, I guess I can use this, a 20-year retired veteran. And here recently, I took a dilapidated property and I've been turning it into what I call Skillman's Post. At first, I was just kind of trying to retire and live in the woods and play with my animals. And I like to serve, I like to volunteer. And so I started putting together a boys camp. Oh, let me pass these out as well. It is called the Ranger Camp. I've done everything from private enterprise with private security, logistics. I was a combat medic when I served. I spent time in Fallujah, Iraq, Afghanistan, and other places. My core strengths are project management, operations, and communication. So I believe that veteran-led groups tend to have really good relationships and callings in the community. And my goal is that I feel like the 8 to 12-year-olds are that cushion, that age group before they're impacted to the point where they haven't kind of went over the hill. They're still a sponge. And when you teach a boy, especially, and I want to emphasize that in the future, the camp can lend to other services where little girls, I already have contacts that I'm dealing with other veteran outreach programs where I deal with disabled veterans and we do retreats and stuff. But my focus is the boys, 8 to 12, because when you teach a young boy how to fix something, then they stop being consumers and they start being producers. And I truly believe in that. We feel like that I want to create a supportive space for the youth and families to foster healthy communication. So as I evaluate the children, this allows parents to come into play and actually get an alternative to see how their children are performing. Certain times that happens where they may not know what's going on at home until their child is exposed to a different program, and then they can kind of connect the dots through that. I may see something in that child that the parent is kind of overlooking, and we can kind of come to a solution if there's any problems, or if there's, if that particular child has abilities or attributes that they don't tend to share at home, for one, because they're distracted, mainly by the screen. So the idea is to definitely take away the technology and put things in perspective for them. And we like to emphasize a big picture approach. Let's see here. So through the community, integrity, dedication, community engagement, I feel like it's very important that we have the support of the community because it increases the overall quality of the camp. I personally have spent more than $100,000 of my own money, and it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. But we know that with community support, the quality can be advanced and we can really reach out to other programs and get the other community involved. So we want to forge multi-capable young men through a rigorous introduction to fieldcraft, technical proficiency, field repair, and leadership. The Ranger Camp is a training ground where discipline meets grit, teaching young boys to be self-reliant jacks of all trades who are as comfortable with a wrench or a compass as they are in the saddle. We will include problem solving, team building, and obstacles to challenge campers mentally, physically, and emotionally. What I've researched and found is that what's happening amongst our youth is that outside of the screens, when they lack the want to, they don't have the options, they can rely on the technology to figure out what to do, but when you take that away from them, they have no idea and they have no drive. So I like to put together obstacles, so to say, where I challenge them by attention to detail. I may give them, for example, some instructions, and it'll be as simple as changing a tire changing activity. And I'll have them in groups, and I may have multiple tools, whether it be a 4-way, a wrench, impact gun, things of that nature, and I'll have them in a preliminary class where I teach them how to use these tools. But then when I add the objective in that fine line, it may be where on this tire, let's have the yellow stripe facing forward. And what happened is it exposed little boys. For example, one may be very assertive, one may be very proactive, but they don't pay attention to detail. So they may jump in there, grab the tool that may operate the fastest, but it's also the heaviest. And they may want to get done fast. When you put a clock and you put music in the background, it creates other stimulus and distraction. So in their evaluation, let's say that particular child jumps to it and he gets it done, tries to use the fastest piece of equipment, but doesn't pay attention to detail, and then on the other side of that tire is a red stripe, and now the red stripe's facing out. So in our evaluation, we're able to unpack that and provide that information to the child, and then we can problem solve, and we can go through a process to where they understand how to get through an objective. Let's see here. So we want to also instill respect, courage, collaboration. It's all about teamwork, and we want evidence-based outcomes. I like these objectives because they are evidence-based. We're not just out here playing flag football, and as they learn things early in the week, all those skills and different things that they learn will be implemented later in the week, and they'll be more independent in using the things that they learn to get through harder and more extensive objectives towards the end. So let's get to the budget needs overview. Mainly for foundational infrastructure, which is the build. Of course, we want sanitation, water systems, operational and safety equipment, and of course, cleanup. So we're asking for $70,000 for our infrastructure and for startup capital and first period operations. And this will ensure viability. Having this support allows us to sustain this and keep it going season after season after season. And we will have clear accounting, whether it be quarterly, whatever the requirements of the commission for reporting. I know that's always a concern, but we have no problem doing that, and we're very local. I probably could run to home from here. Let's see here. So, of course, like I said, startup costs include development, safety, infrastructure, and essential equipment. Bunks, barracks, sanitation facilities, recreational tools. Here's a breakdown of some of what that would include, which would be like clearing brush, of course. This is not necessarily 100% as far as the description, but it gives you an idea. You're going to have bunks, barracks, facilities that can be reconditioned each cycle that we have different groups of children. So I personally have already been building and implementing this stuff, but we're really looking forward to the support so we can go ahead and get it completed and we can get these kids coming through, okay? So, another idea here. Well, outdoor shower house, we want them to be comfortable, because when things are operating smoothly, we eliminate a lot of the excuses and reasons why the boys, don't necessarily fulfill the objectives. We want it to be smooth, we want it to be clean, we want it to be a finely well-tuned machine, so to say. Things like off-grid kitchen, of course communication, and gear. Everything ranges, we have archery range, woodshop tools, supplies, lumber, you name it. It's a very creative space. Let's see, waste management, of course, this is having, a dumpster and things of that nature, because there's going to be trash and things that have to be taken out. And then, of course, being able to refit the camp in between cycles. So the direct benefits, for one, we like to take the load off of some of the other things. Like by building this program, I feel like it will take some of the burden off of some of these children who are having issues. We're not saying every child who's coming to camp is going to have issues, but what's happening is, as I've been building this and as I've been reaching out to the community, there's this calling, there's this need. I'm getting pulled to Department of Children and Families and other institutions like that. Meanwhile, we know that by having the facility and everything in order, it'll expand the programming, more accessibility, and without having that support, it'll just weaken the infrastructure and the consistency of the camp. We'd like you guys to join as a committed partner and collaborate with us to expand the reach and deepen the impact across the county's communities. And we want it built for the long term, and I think it'll be a mutual value, because nothing against the young girls, because I've had a lot of questions come up as far as, so what about the girls? And honestly, as the infrastructure and everything continues to go, I will have segments not only for the veterans but for girls, lock-ins, overnight camps. Right now, it's just a day camp where children will be dropped off in the morning and they'll be picked up in the evening. They'll be provided a meal, they'll have uniforms and all that kind of good stuff. But and I think it'd be great for the community. I don't really see it happening much in this area, and I think it's a great need because we're kind of in the middle between Gainesville, Jacksonville, and some other places, and I think the young men are the future. I want to kind of instill a little more masculinity into the program so that we can, you know, have men that eventually give back to the community. So community values, you know, values instill trust. We want dedicated leadership. It's a clear mission, and we would love the funding partnership. This will produce high quality, and it allows us to grow as well. So, nope. Any questions?
Just one quick question. How far have you gotten into the physical structure or building up your structure?
I would say I'm about 70%. And that's just based on, you know, I haven't sought any outsourcing any resources. I've been pretty much dedicating all my blood, sweat, and tears to it for the last 3.5 years. I travel extensively for reclaimed materials, whether it be fence posts, lumber, fencing, you know, every quarter I'm renting bulldozers and excavators, and I recently actually acquired an extra 5 acres of property for my equine trails. I have affiliations with places as far as in Keystone Clay Ranch. I've got other programs, the Army National Guard and Army Corps Engineers. I've got a lot of programs and stuff in the chamber that are just kind of cycling through and coming as things come into place. So I would say about 70%. Right now, depending on how things continue to progress, I'm looking at the first launch at probably the last week of overall summer. But I'm not limiting the camps to summer. Like once everything's in place, I understand there's fall, you know, everything comes with a season and a theme, whether it be fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'll plan on implementing certain programs, whether they be for a week or a weekend, and it's just going to be something that cycles all the way through.
You have a question from the board? Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
And next, we have the original Florida Tourism Task Force, Executive Director Scott
Combs. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Scott Coons. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of serving both as Executive Director for the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council and through contract for service, the Original Florida Tourism Task Force. Let's see here. So I want to talk to you a few minutes this morning about who we are, what we do, and then a very brief summary. We're part of a statewide network of 10 councils. We're an association of local governments throughout North Central Florida. The mission of our organization is to improve the quality of life of our region's citizens through enhancing public safety, protecting regional resources, promoting economic development, and providing technical services to local governments. The region covers 12 counties, 40 municipalities. 15 of those municipalities, most of the county seats and some of the larger communities are members, including the city of Stark. We cover 8,000 square miles, population over 600,000. Under state law, counties are required to be members of the regional council. Cities can choose to be voluntary members. The organization was created in 1969. We celebrated our 50th anniversary a number of years ago. We're now coming up on 60 years. And Bradford County has been a member organization since 1974. There's their 12-member counties. There's the 15-member cities. We're governed by executive committee. Our current officers are Commissioner Alford from Alachua County. Our vice chair is Vice Mayor Hawkins from the city of Jasper in Hamilton County. Our current treasurer is Bowie Hutchison from the city of Hawthorne. Our current secretary is County Commissioner McNeil from Union County, one of your neighbors. And our immediate past chair is Mayor Hope from the city of Archer. We also have a number of ex officio agencies that participate in our organization, Department of Commerce, Environmental Protection, Transportation, and the 3 water management districts that cover our region. We have 5 principal areas of activity. First is regional. We maintain a strategic regional policy plan to guide the future growth and development of our region. We also serve as area-wide clearinghouse to review comprehensive plan amendments and federal grant applications. Second area is public safety. We staff the North Central Florida Local Emergency Planning Committee, comprised of first responders and emergency managers from throughout the region. They provide first responder training for hazardous material awareness. We support the North Central Florida Regional Hazmat Response Team. And then under state law, every county is required to do a site visit of small quantity generators of hazardous waste. Most of this is automobile service facilities for used vehicle fluids. Second most common is dry cleaning facilities. Our third area of activity is economic development. We're a federally designated economic development district. We maintain an economic strategy to diversify the economy of our region, working with a economic development strategy committee. Amber Shepard serves in that committee to represent this area. And also, a number of years ago, the council formed the original Florida Tourism Task Force to promote North Central Florida for ecotourism, heritage tourism, and cultural-based tourism. We also provide local government assistance directly to communities for assisting them in complying with community planning requirements. There's also filing grant applications and administering projects for community development. The fifth and final area is transportation. Matt Pearson was up here earlier. We serve as the official planning agency for that program, develop the annual service plan, staff the coordinating boards and meet quarterly. Commissioner Reddick serves as chair of that board. And Swanee River Economic Council is your service provider, providing paratransit services to elderly, disabled, and low-income individuals, primarily for medical appointments. So our request today is for your membership contribution to the Regional Planning Council for the coming fiscal year would be $5,821. That is based on 30 cents per capita, based on your most recent population estimate from the University of Florida Bureau of Economic Business Research. It's an $11 increase from your current dues. Your current dues are $5,810. Benefits is return on investment is services for the transportation to Savannah, some $23,000 directly to the county. Public safety for the first responder training, the county share is a little over $13,000, and the economic development work is a little over $14,000. Also, as I mentioned earlier, that hazardous generator monitoring is required each year. That's an enhanced service, a contract for service of a little over $7,000, and that's been the same for over 20 years. The request for the original Florida Tourism Task Force. The task force is made up of Tourist Development Council staff and industry hospitality individuals from across the region. They have a formula for membership based on a percentage of your bed tax or tourist development tax. The county receives now close to $300,000 from bed tax for motel and campgrounds and trailer parks. And your request this year is the same as last year at $3,000 based on the first 2 cents of your bed tax. Those funds are used to leverage a state regional rural economic development grant to advance the marketing program for the organization. They do digital and print advertising, provide scholarships for local staff to attend marketing college from the Southeast Tourism Society each summer, and then also distribute literature and brochures on the area to the Visit Florida Welcome Centers at I-95, I-75, I-10, and US 231. We do this through a very dedicated staff of individuals. Our office is located over in Gainesville. And thank you for your time today. In summary, we're part of a statewide network. 2/3 of our board is made up of elected officials. Commissioner Reddick currently serves on that board. We're coordinating and planning agency. Programs range from regional planning to public safety, economic development, local government assistance, and a paratransit service program. So thank you for your continuing support and partnership over the years, and look forward to continuing through next year. Madam Chair, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Thank you for your time.
Next we'll have the Episcopal Children's Services.
Good morning, my name is Brittany Spangler. I am the Vice President of Program for Episcopal Children's Services. Just a little bit about who we are. We are a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to underserved children to succeed in school and beyond across Florida, and in this last year we have expanded to Georgia. And we provide essential support and guidance to families seeking high quality care and education. This year is our 60th anniversary that we've laid the foundation for lifelong learning and success, one child at a time. The reason why I'm here today is I am asking the commissioners for, excuse me, a contribution of $3,750 in your 26-27 budget. It's the same amount that we have asked in the past. This kind of gives you a little bit of the big picture of why we need your help. This is an annual report as provided by Child Care Aware of America. The middle part of the slide, you will see that the Department of Health and Human Services says that the cost of child care should be under 7% of a family's household income. And right now, Florida, the average is 12% for a married couple and 32% for a single family. On the right hand of the slide with the chart that you see, if you have just an infant and a 4-year-old in care, that cost of childcare, the annual cost, now exceeds the cost of housing. On the far right of that, you see 1 year college tuition and how much lower that is compared to childcare. And what we do at ECS for Kids is we help navigate the affordability through our school readiness subsidies for families. So the school readiness program is a federally funded program, and they do require us for a community match of 6% for direct services. Then the Department of Education will match that on a one-to-one basis. So your contribution of $3,750 will bring in approximately $58,750 in federal funds, and then again on the one-to-one match, making it $62,500. And the county's funding will be used solely to fund child care services for income eligible working families to help meet this requirement. This last year, the funds that we received was able to cover approximately an annual cost of care for about 13 children. So this next year, asking for the same amount of funding, it will also cover approximately 13 children for the annual cost of care. And again, 100% of the grant will be used directly towards child care costs, and no administrative costs or other program costs come from the grant funds. The funding that you also provide, there's a couple of different requirements for these families. This will go directly to Bradford County residents. They also have to meet the income requirements of, which is 55% of the state median income to enter into the program, and then they can earn up to 85% of the state median income to stay in the program. They also have to be working or going to school at the state's requirements for minimum hours. And then families receiving services, they are required to contribute a copay based on their household size and income. And this is because the program is designated to promote self-sufficiency and encourage families to remain active contributors to the community. And by fostering this independence, the program not only benefits individual families, but also strengthens the community by reducing resilience on other assistance programs. This is just 2 examples of the income thresholds for families. The top one is for a family of 2, and the bottom one is for a family of 4. And then not only do we provide services for families with receiving financial assistance, but we also support child care programs in the community. Most child care programs are mainly small businesses that they receive training, technical assistance, and coaching support from our staff. The free training and coaching is on site, and it helps improve child and teacher interactions, instructional quality, and compliance. We also have, between our education department and our professional development department, scholarships, credential support, and other trainings that are free that can lower the cost of small business costs. And then again, any child care program in the county can actually advertise their services for free through our system, which will then be given to any families that are seeking child care in Bradford County, and they're looking and want to compare what's available hours of operation, costs, those different kinds of things. So to kind of give you some statistics for this year so far, our fiscal year is from July 1st through June 30th. And so far, an average of 215 children are served monthly. And we have 11 contracted child care programs in Bradford County to serve school readiness children. We've been able to send out 124 funding notices to new families. And we have 183 children participating in our free voluntary pre-kindergarten program for 4-year-olds. And we have 10 contracted child care programs for those services. We've offered 16 trainings from our Education and Professional Development Department. And we've had 34 instances of technical assistance where we've had staff going out directly to these child care programs for assistance. And so far, we've had 267 instances of contacts from families reaching out to our staff for information. And the examples are consumer education, financial assistance, community resources, child care listings, or anything else that they want to know about community resources in Bradford County. So that's it. I just wanted to thank you for your continued support and see if you have any questions.
Any questions from the board? Thank you all for your services. Do you still have your little garden? Do the kids still have their little community garden?
Yes, we have one of the other programs. It's not a program that I work for directly, but our agency itself has Head Start, Early Head Start, and that's one of their programs that they do is the child garden. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And next we have concerned citizens of Bradford County, President Alicia McMillan.
Good morning.
Morning.
Alicia McMillan, and I'm gonna give you the address of the facility, 1080 North Pine Street, Start Farm. We'd like to thank you all for your service and your support over the past 49 years. Next year we will be in existence for 50 years. And our purpose is with the outreach program, and we help our community, starting with our children all the way up to our elderlies. Right now, our facility is on a major renovation, but we still offering our summer program, which we take kids for 4 weeks from K through 6th grade, and they are fed both breakfast and lunch. And we have educational programs that's incorporated within our camp. Math and reading, we found out those the most 2 important areas for our kids to survive these days. And then at the end of the year, of the summer camp, we take them on a trip. And we have our seniors, we have our HUG programs where we give luncheons throughout the year based on different disease and educational health issues that they have. For the seniors, we have our food drive that is every second Wednesday of the month. And during that time, we have our educational hub where people can come in and get education and information about their health and whatever issues. It's a first come, first served basis. We also provide for the youth of Bradford County an annual Christmas program each year where we give away toys and a big party, refreshments and food. And this past Christmas, we was able to give over 20-something free bicycles to the youth. And we had over 200 attendees that attend. We also have a Thanksgiving luncheon for the community, for the seniors, where we invite all the seniors to come in and we give them a free Thanksgiving lunch. And we also invite the ones who help us as volunteers to come in and have a free lunch. And it's our way of saying thank you for your service throughout the year. Our fiscal year runs from July 1st to June 30th. And we're all about children, but we realize that we can not only do the children, we have to do the whole family. And that's what we've been doing for the last 49 years. And we thank you all for the contributions you all have made before, and we're asking you all again this year for $10,000. There's a brochure, a packet that is given to each of you that's explaining our mission, and it's also in the bag It allows you to see some of the programs and the flyers of things that we have offered in the past and our summer program that we're about to embark on next month. At this point, do you have any questions?
Not a question, but a comment. I know you're undergoing some major renovations, thanks to some appropriations and county assistance as well. But I see that you're expanding the use of the campus, and I see that they have a regular baseball, is it called a travel team?
It's a travel team.
That is utilizing the baseball area.
Yes, they also is incorporating some of our kids right here in Bradford County. The travel team is from the area, from Bradford County, and I think Clay County, but they're housed now at our baseball park. And they're going to bring in some of the community kids of Bradford County, anybody who wish, any kids that 10U, 11U that would like to play on the program. They encourage them to participate in the program. We have a big May Day program that will take place on next Saturday after next, May 16th. That is one of our big fundraiser for our summer program. And all the funds that we receive, fundraising and from contribution, only a small percent of it is used. 95% is used for just the programs. Our organization is ran on volunteers only. And we have just a few that we pay during the summer because we ask professional teachers, retired, and current teachers to come in, especially for our different educational labs to teach the kids.
And I was particularly impressed with your math and reading program you had this past summer, and look forward to it this year. Any questions?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I have a question, and this is for you and also for Ms. McMillan. As the PACE Center for Girls program continues to evolve from Clay County into Bradford County, and with the REACH program, I don't know how much discussion you all have had with that, but maybe eventually having the PACE program based there at RJE.
We will. Me and Ms. Commissioner Spooner has discussed that, and we're looking forward to partnering with him.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
We need to get our facilities in shape for them to be able to come in.
Okay.
And that renovation is in place right now. And we want to thank you all for helping us with the different appropriation. Without you all, a lot of that work would happen, and we'd like to thank you all for that as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Doherty, about the suggestion of the PACE folks come for a visit. They had, I think it was the Kiwanis or the Rotary, they came and did a presentation, and they did go and look at the facility. So I think that their plan is, is to utilize that space to do their counseling or involvement with the youth.
Once we get our gymnasium up and going, we're going to have year-round programs for the youth and the senior citizens. That is right now a holdback, but things is moving. And as my father always say, Rome wasn't built in a day. You take one day at a time, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and we like to thank you all for the support that you all has given us over the past years, and next year we will be celebrating 50 years of being in existence. Thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you for all you do, the volunteer, the hours, and everything that y'all put in. It's so obvious that you put your heart in this. And so I'd like to thank you guys for everything that's been done and for what we are going to see in the future. So,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay. Next, we'll have Meridian Behavioral Health Care, the Chief Executive Officer, Lauren Coleman.
Good morning. Yes, thank you for the introduction. I'm Lauren Cohen, the President and CEO of Meridian Healthcare, and I appreciate you having me here today so I can share a little bit of the impact of the work that we've been doing here in Bradford County. Many of the things wouldn't be possible without your continued support and partnership, so I also thank you for that. Just a little bit about Meridian. Established in 1971, we've been providing behavioral health services for over 50 years, deeply committed to serving the residents here in Bradford County, focused on whole person care, rooted in hope and empathy. Our mission is to transform communities, starting with one life. Some of the values that we focus our work on are our heart values. So we've got hope, empathy, accountability, resilience, and teamwork, the foundation of our core services. An overview of the programs that we offer. We have a comprehensive continuum of care addressing the complex needs of children, adults, and families. Driven by our commitment to community well-being, we continue to add services, expand, grow, and evolve to meet the unique needs of individuals and communities that we're serving. Telehealth services continue to be an option to expand access, especially here in Bradford County. The data that is included in this report is from this current fiscal year, which began on July 1. The data is through March 31st. Our fiscal year ends June 30th, but given the timing of the report, the data is through March. So far this fiscal year, 626 Bradford County residents have received a total of 3,800 telehealth services through March. We continue to offer a program where we can support individuals in need with devices at no cost to them for individuals who may not have access or ability to get to traditional services in the office. Some of the information on who we're serving here in Bradford County is on this slide, providing a snapshot of the demographics of the individuals we're serving. I think understanding who we're serving helps shape the direction of the services and the specific unique needs. 3% of our clients identified as Hispanic. We've got the breakdown of age as well on this slide. This year, we actually installed client feedback kiosks in all of our sites. So we could not only understand some of the feedback from the individuals by location, but be able to drill down on some of the specific comments, suggestions, where clients are feeling supported, where the opportunities are, site by site. So these are the scores for our Bradford County clinic specific, not just our whole agency. So this is a new part for this fiscal year. So this fiscal year, when we installed these kiosks, the overall satisfaction for our Bradford County clinic is 4.5 out of 5. And the likelihood that these individuals would recommend Meridian is 8.9 out of 10. So this year sort of serves as a baseline for us to continue to work on building these scores. Across our whole organization, though, we're looking at 79% of adults and 80% of children reporting improved functioning and a reduction of overall symptoms. Some of the services that we've provided this fiscal year so far. This slide includes the numbers across our continuum of care. So we've got our acute care, which is our inpatient unit, our crisis stabilization, an inpatient detox facility. We've got outpatient treatment, medication-assisted treatment, psychiatric care, and our mobile response team. I do want to highlight some of the things that we've done specifically this past year, most of which with your partnership, expanding our medication-assisted treatment services, which includes our groups and individual treatment here in Bradford County, as well as medication-assisted treatment, buprenorphine and Vivitrol access here. We also have expanded our partnership with the Bradford County Sheriff and the jail by implementing jail-based medication-assisted treatment. That's just in the last couple months. We're really excited to continue to build that program and partnering with Bradford Fire Rescue and paramedicine as well on community-based services and our in-jail services. We also started our central receiving last year, and that facility serves as a central intake point for anyone coming under a Baker Act or voluntarily. The central receiving facility has expanded services to support individuals, not just to get them connected with the next level of care, whether that be inpatient or outpatient resources, but also provide some care coordination to help with some additional factors beyond just medication and symptom management, transportation challenges, housing challenges, or some of those additional psychosocial stressors that often contribute to somebody's inpatient hospitalization. Here we're detailing the payer mix. 86.26% of clients we see in Bradford County are below the federal poverty guidelines. 2% of those services were ineligible for any subsidy to address the cost of care. 48% of services have been paid for with indigent care funding from the state and county. 28% of services were covered by Medicaid. 24% of individuals have some form of insurance. That insurance only covers 8% of the services these individuals need and receive. The funding you provided last year went towards uncompensated care, care for individuals, mental health and behavioral health, substance abuse treatment that had no other payer. So individuals that did not have any insurance and were not covered by any third party. So it allowed us to continue providing care to those individuals. That is what the funding for this year will also be utilized for. As you know, by Florida statute, we are required to obtain local match for any of our federal and state dollars. Our expected fiscal year 27 local match requirement is $2.6 million. So this year we are requesting a 2% increase in our funding, bringing that request to $84,678.61. This increase brings us closer to our required match and supports our expanded services provided through central receiving and some of the other initiatives we discussed today. Here's my contact information, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
I just want to express my appreciation to Meridian and also to our paramedicine program. We're working together, that you all have been able to expand into the county jail. And also the medical assistance program is a program that is funded through you guys that saves our county money. So I'm just really excited about the movement of that, and the jail staff was just very pleased. And I met with you guys about a couple of weeks ago, and that's moving forward.
We are thrilled with the partnership. Bringing these critical services to those in need in the jail is a huge initiative for us, and we couldn't be happier with the warm response that we've received in the partnership here.
Any questions from the board? Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Next we have the North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce. Executive Officer is Pam Little.
Good morning. I just want to come back to you guys and let you know we are again asking for $9,375, and I know that seems like an odd amount, but some years ago we were requested to reduce our amount by 25%, which we did, and we've been surviving off of that for many years now. A lot of what we do is work with the county, with the city. I mean, we're always getting calls, Pam, do you have? And as I look through this room, I've worked with quite a few of these people as well. That's what we do. We support everything that's going on. Part of our mission is residents a place to live, visitors a place to come, and businesses a place to locate. And that's some of what we do. That's why we work with the Economic Development Group. That's why we work with Ms. McMillan, and we got your tents for May Day. We have those kind of things. We do that, and we make sure it happens. Thursday, National Day of Prayer. Those tents will be there and those chairs will be there. We coordinate that. You know, we make it happen. I know a lot of people say, oh, it just happens. No, it doesn't. It's stuff we do. We recently had to replace ropes on tents. You know, you don't think of that, but they just deteriorated. And we had to buy a new rope. That was not cheap. You know, I mean, there's just expenses that go with those things, tables, tents, you know, just all the stuff that we do. as I was thinking about this month, you think, oh, May, we've got National Day of Prayer. That's already been coordinated. Things are happening. We have May Day. That's already been coordinated. Things are happening. Memorial Day service. We've already been with American Legion. That's happening. You know, it's what we do. It's marketing. It's hard to put a litmus test on that. How do we know it happens? We see the people there. We had an awful lot of people at a ball field here a while back. You know, we had quite a few people at a pickleball court not long ago. I mean, but we were there. We even had a lot of people at, and how many of you made it to the new oil change place at Murray Ford, who's been with us for a long time and supports this community in a lot of ways. And we were there to support them. And that's what we do. It's after hours, it's late hours, you know. I mean, I've done a few marathon meetings with you guys even, where we were here kind of late. And plus we work with the city. Do we have a request in with the city? Yes, we do. This also covers your membership for you to be a part of this, to say you're having a little bit of helping all these guys out here. ARC, communities and schools, concerned citizens. You know, that's what we do. We lift up our community, and all boats rise with the tide. That's it, guys. Thank you. We appreciate you thinking about us.
We appreciate you praying for all that you do, our community and chamber. Any comments, questions?
I do. I heard you have a member that's retiring.
A TDC board member.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Are you guys planning anything that we might come and just give our best regards?
Our meeting is actually May 21st. That Thursday will probably be his last meeting. For those of you who don't know, John Miller is retiring from Tourist Development Council. He no longer owns the Magnolia Hotel, so he's vacating that seat as a collector of the bed tax. So his last meeting will be Thursday the 21st. So we'll be at the grill if y'all want to come by.
And thank you, Pam. Because like you said, every event we have, openings, whatever, fire station, ball fields, you're always there. Really do appreciate all you do for us. That's for sure.
That's what we do. Just call us.
Strawberry Festival, I could just
Fair. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying about, you know, you
County
think
days. I mean,
May is kind of a slow day, rural county days, and I do have some dates on rural county days. It's very tentative, but it's probably going to be in the teens in March this year. And I went March, really, between the fair and the Strawberry Festival. Thank you. But we'll be there.
The temperature or the day of the week and the teens?
Well, it could be the temp. Hopefully this year we'll be there in March, so we'll probably be holding the tent down from the wind. So we'll be there. Okay, thank you. We appreciate you guys too, and all that you do, all that your staff does as well to help us and support us. So thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Community for Schools, Executive Director, Cindy DiValerio, my kid's elementary school teacher.
Good morning. I do not have a PowerPoint presentation. You all know who we are and what we do, so I'm kind of here to give you an update today, but I will leave you with updated flyers. Thank you all for your continued support. You all have been wonderful. Many of you all have helped with golf tournaments, mentoring. All of you all have done different things through the years to support us, and we're very grateful for that. Communities and Schools actually began as a 501c3 in 1999, so we've been around for quite a while. Our mission is still the same. We're here to support students 6th through now 11th grade. Used to be 6th through 9th, then it went 6th through 10th, now 6th through 11th, to be successful academically, for their future, career-wise. Not everybody's cut out for college, so we do try to push trade school certification programs, etc., which in my thinking then later builds a better community. Yes, Ms. Spooner, I've been around for a long time, and my goal's always been to help Bradford County and to work with students, and that's still my heart. My current goal for next year is to expand into the middle school. We are there with our mentoring program, but we're not there on a daily, weekly basis to assist students with support that I think would help and empower them. middle school ages, and you hit the nail on the head, about 8 to 12-year-olds is a critical age for forming personalities. You also hit the nail on the head about screen time. That'll be another day. I'll come back and talk to you about screen time, but screen time is consuming our youth, and beyond that, there needs to be other things in their life that they can be skilled at, viable at, et cetera, et cetera. That's a whole nother chapter. To give you a little bit of update of our year, though, we've served over 110 students in our 2 programs umbrellaed under Bradford Community for Schools. Our Take Stock in Children's program, we have 40 students currently. All are scholarshiped. Scholarship comes through donations, fundraising, a little bit of state funding, and then supporters in our community. Of the 40 students already scholarshiped, they all have a mentor, an active mentor. 14 of them are actually receiving a full 4-year ride from another grant that I've written through the Department of Education. So for Bradford County, which I love Bradford County, but that's a big deal for a student to get out of high school that maybe did not have parents that went to college and have the opportunity for a full 4-year ride. Of the 110 students this year that we served, 28 of them are graduating. So I'm very proud to say, once again, for those of you all that golf and join us in the fall for our golf tournament, you'll see once again the sign, the first sign you meet says 100% graduation rate. There's 186 graduates at Bradford High School this year, maybe 187, but right around there. 28 of those are our students. We're a very small but mighty team of 6 part-time people. I call us the dream team because we're the hands and feet of Jesus every day on campus to help students. We do not have big salaries. None of us want big salaries. We do not have benefits. We don't have sick days, vacation, or any of that. We're really there just to do what we think we can do to promote our program and help Bradford County. Our students' goal is graduation, obviously, but along the way, we also offer other services, which is in this brochure. Meridian is one of them. There are a lot of different things that many of our students need and require, and we try to offer those or make the connection or partnership for those. The feeding program, the backpack weekend program, we have several students participating in that. We have the hangar, which is our clothing resource room that's decorated like a nice boutique. Students get clothing, they get school supplies, work attire, shoes, personal hygiene items, whatever may be needed to help them be successful. We also had a local church this past year, LifeSpring Church, that actually supported 20 of our students for Christmas. 20 might not sound like a big deal, but it is when you start looking at high school students and what their needs and wants may be. So in our brochure that I will leave with you, there's a lot of different things that we're doing. We work a lot with the SWAT, Tobacco Free Project. Our students have become involved in that. We'll have our summer work program again for students that qualify. We just try to keep a lot of things going on for our students. We do a monthly lunch and learn where students come and have pizza. You can always draw a teenager if you bring the pizza, but they're learning about all different sorts of things. We've had recruiters come from the military. We've talked about Santa Fe, trade school. We've had guest speakers come in. So we're just trying to give them viable options that will give them good opportunities, keep them in Bradford County, help them be successful, and then, of course, graduate. We look at their grades. We look at their behavior. Of course, we look at attendance. Those are things for a lot of our students that you're not in school, you're not getting an education, so we try to do things to motivate and help them. I would like to thank the school district because they do provide our office space and expenses that go with that. And I'd like to thank our board. We have a board of 11. Names are on the back of the brochure once again, who are very involved. They're a working board, always there to help. We do monthly bingos. If anybody likes to play bingo, come on down to the Downtown Grill, not in May because I call this Maycember. May is a very busy month, school related, but normally our bingos are the last Monday night of every month at 5:30. So we do that for fundraising, and then we'll do our yearly golf tournament again in the fall. So that's just kind of an overview. I'm very proud of where we are, where we've come, and especially of where we're heading. Thank you all for your continued support, and I hope we can count on you once again. Would you all have any questions, comments, thoughts?
Just comment, just thank you for doing an outstanding job and for the children of Bradford County.
And you may have already given it, but
Do you have your brochures?
Yes, I'm gonna pass
That's
those.
mine, okay.
So I'm gonna let you all pass them down so I don't take too much of your time.
All right. Any other comments, questions for Ms. D?
Just thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Anderson. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. And next we'll have the Northeast Florida Economic Development Corporation Strategic Alliance Business Partner, Ms. Amber Shepherd.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. I just wanted to start out by sharing, when people hear economic development, they kind of wonder what all that entails. And Northeast Florida Economic Development is committed to several verticals of interest and mission. Number one, our primary focus is to attract new businesses to the community. But a secondary component of that is also building what is here and what already exists so that we can strengthen what remains. We help businesses that are interested in expanding in the local market, in the national market, and international market. So whatever level of growth a business might be at, we can help support them and help them identify strategies for success. And then finally, because economic development and workforce development is near and dear to my heart, I really feel that one of our third components is the workforce development component. When we attract new businesses, it's really important to us that we make sure that these businesses that come to the community are willing to immerse themselves in our community and willing to build relationships with high schools, with the school district, with the career and technical colleges, so that we can build those workforce certification programs. When I meet with the leaders of the community, that was one of the things that was clearly articulated to me, that it was really important that the students that are growing up here are able to have good paying jobs, a livable wage where they can raise a family here in the community and they don't feel like they have to go somewhere else. So that has been in the forefront of my mind as we have endeavored to be successful with the Economic Development Corporation. Our current board of chairs and directors is listed. Derek Thomas is with Clay Electric Cooperative. He's the Chief Government Relations Officer with Clay Electric. And I'm sure you recognize a lot of the names that are on here, a lot of local business owners and leaders in the community. And of course, this will change come October. So what have we been doing? Since 2025, last year, we had our annual meeting where we gave presentations from Florida Commerce and Select Florida. Space Florida was supposed to attend, but unfortunately Matt Chestnut had an injury skiing and wasn't able to attend, but we were able to share with the community a lot of the grants and incentives that are available for businesses that are seeking opportunity to expand and are interested in Florida. We've continued the execution of our economic development strategic plan that was prepared earlier in 2025, launching some of that operational and tactical support in July of 2024. From that plan, we've completed the executive meet and greets where we've invited business leaders to come to the community. We've had a lot of national business leaders come to the community, state level business leaders, and even some international business leaders. I hope that you guys receive the emails that I send, and please know that when you receive an email to come to the executive meet and greet, that is sincere. I would love for you guys to attend. I know that your schedules are busy, but I have been told by site selectors through conference after conference after conference, you can't market dirt, and I just am looking forward to the day when we get to say we've launched a project that was sold based solely on dirt, because that is something that is valuable. It is something that people are looking for, and we are seeing a lot of success for even undeveloped areas. So I'm looking forward to that day when we can tell them, yes, you can. We've recently had new businesses coming into the area to look at the 301 Commerce Center. And so we continue to bring those opportunities to the community. We'd love to have you guys come, and I will share with you the feedback that I've received from those executive site visits. One gentleman told me that he had visited 5 or 6 different communities across the nation, and he said Bradford County was the one that stood out the most to him. So I think that that's really eye-opening to the community support that we have here and what we share with people when they do come. They see the value. So we just have to hope that things continue to move forward and that their business goals align with what we have to offer, but I think we're on a really good track. We hosted the Opportunity Zone 2.0 workshop with Florida Commerce at the Charlie Johns Conference Center. Thanks, a big thanks to the Chamber and opening those doors for us, especially like short notice. You know, I have to say, working with the Chamber, Pam at the Chamber, she's like the community cheerleader and pep rally coordinator, and she gets everybody together. And honestly, I couldn't be as successful as I am in my role without the work that she does. So a big thanks to her. We actually onboarded our first intern from Santa Fe College, showing them some of the tools and techniques that we're utilizing, helping them to grow in their marketing and their professionalism and business administration skills. And we're working with the Chamber currently for a presentation at the Eye Opener Breakfast at the Downtown Grill on the 3rd. We have a gentleman who was a TED Talk speaker who is coming to give a presentation on organizational culture and how to grow that strategically and make it strong. We've identified interest for the 301 Commerce Center with that letter of interest that was presented by OM Imports. And we're looking forward to receiving the RFP from the county so that we can market that and see if we can attract even more interest. So that way the county can really evaluate all of the options that are available and choose something that's going to be best for the community that will do two things. One, it will create revenue for the county, but then also will create jobs. And then we also implemented the Northeast Florida Development Diaries. And unfortunately, I've not had any of you on my podcast yet, but I look forward to securing some time with you guys in the coming months. You know, I think it'll be really good. And as we're preparing for that, just keep in mind, I love to tell your story professionally. Nobody's path is straightforward. Everybody's path is kind of takes those winds and those twists and those curves. And so when we get to share that experience that you've had, what led you to this place, why do you love Bradford County, why are you in the role that you're in, not only does it inspire business leaders, but I think it's a tool that our high school students can utilize. They can see that just because of where you are today doesn't mean that's where you're going to be forever. There's always doors of opportunities that open if we do the hard work. So in addition to those things, we've also attended and been a part of a number of boards and conferences. I sit on the North Florida Economic Development Partnership Board as the economic development professional for the community. And I did forget to put on this list, but thank you to Scott Coons who reminded us that I do also sit on the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council Economic Strategy Committee. And then we also have membership and representation at NEFPA, FEDC, IEDC. So, you know, some of the bigger groups in the community, being NEFPA, being the Builders Association, but the Florida Economic Development Council and the International Economic Development Council. Building those relationships helps to build relationships with site selectors. So hopefully that will, you know, yield results in visitors coming to the community. Additionally, represented Bradford County at Rural Counties Days, helped to arrange some of those meetings with some of the legislators, and hopefully this coming year we'll have even more meetings to attend. Took my first trip down to Sun and Fun, looking to attract some aviation opportunity. Did have an opportunity to meet with a group that I hope may build their headquarters here one day, just not, you know, a lot of times when we meet with businesses, it's a lot of tire kicking and it's long-term relationship building. So I'm sure you've heard Pam say over the years, it could be 5 years from the time that they have a vision to the time that the ribbon cutting takes place. So those things take some time. And then our MRO Americas had an opportunity to follow up there with Coons Corp, which was one of the executive meet and greets that we had, and found out that we received the blessing of the company director based out of Germany to move forward with the theory-based the theory-based learning through Blunt Hall and Santa Fe. And then the goal is, if everything works well with that test run of that theory-based portion, they will be building a facility out at the Keystone Heights Airport for aviation recovery training. So that is still moving forward. And then, of course, the FREDA conference, a 2-day event where we have the opportunity to connect with other economic development professionals from rural communities around the state of Florida. And then representation and relationship with Florida Commerce, Space Florida, Select Florida. It's not in here. I just was notified yesterday that Florida Commerce is interested in hoping to do a rural tour, and they're going to be coming to Bradford County and Putnam County, and we'll be having an event. I believe the event will be held in Putnam, but as soon as I get more details, I'll share that so that you can attend as well. So when we first started this conversation, we talked about tools and techniques to draw on attention. And I just wanted to share with you the sheer volume of activity that goes into to marketing. Just on the marketing side, that's not including conferences, not including the activities that we have around the community with the ribbon cuttings and the relationship building here locally, but reaching out across the state a little bit, but more primarily reaching out across the nation and internationally, seeing if there's businesses that are interested in expanding. Since July of 2024, we've reached out via in-mail to over 18,000 people. That's a lot of outreach. And then from there, now you'll notice there's no email on here because we quickly realized that people don't want to read their email anyways. So we're just burning through marketing email domains. So no point in spending money on that. We focused on the channel that is the most active, which is LinkedIn. You can see we've had a large volume of acceptance requests. So there's an acceptance process when you're trying to connect with people on LinkedIn. And we've had 32% of our requests being accepted. Over almost 41,000 follow-up messages, and thankfully we have some tools that use automation, so I'm not manually having to sit there and message everybody, but when you see the responses received, 3,000 responses, that is a manual involvement. People say, oh, no thank you, I'm not interested, and we reply back kindly. 385 of those people have expressed interest in our very specific offer of, hey, if you're looking to expand or relocate in the next 5 years, we should talk. Because we recognize that this is a long-term plan. We have to build that pipeline, and it's much like growing a garden. You have to till that soil, pull the weeds, you have to water it, plant the seeds. So we want to make sure that we are top of mind when they're ready to launch. And from that 385 people, 163 have scheduled an intro call with us. And not 100% actually make it to the meeting. I get stood up quite a bit. So 135 have come to the meeting, with 15 having site needs documented. So there's a lot of, again, tire kickers that come to the conversation. We talk about their potential. We let them know what we're here to do, how we can offer them, the incentives that we can guide them through. And then hopefully, when they're ready, they come back to us. I've heard from a number of opportunities that, a number of leads, that we have the most well put together presentation of any of the economic development groups that they've met with across the nation. That drone manufacturer that's listed there with a pending site visit, that was one of them. I'm hoping to follow up with them this week to secure that site visit. I think we're leaning towards June, hopefully. Heritage Homes was actually here last week, so that was pending, but it has now been completed, as well as the industrial developer also came last week. And the industrial developer is coming back on the 12th for another view of the community. They're looking at building what they call a 90-10 industrial business condo flex unit. So 90% of the building would be industrial warehouse space, with 10% being office space, with the exterior looking like a medical office building, but the back side would have the roll-up doors and the docks and things of that nature. So looking at some property close to the city, but hopefully we can bring all of that together and bring it to fruition. So Raina Group is in phase 1 still. They have submitted their application to the FAA. For 100 acres would be phase one, and then and eventually that would grow over 7 years to like 700 acres, taking up that facility. I did let them know that we are very fond of our flora and fauna, and that we want to see as much ecotourism potential, if that's linear walking trails and things like that. So they have built that into their concepts, that there will be green space. So it's not just going to be cleared and parking lots. So I think that's really nice. What's not listed on this, because it's not technically Bradford County, but I will say it's from our efforts, Silicon Beach AI, based out of Jacksonville, has also put in an application for the Keystone Heights Airport for the Clay County side for 100 acres for a Center of Excellence for Department of War Drone Center of Excellence. So they've submitted that application to the FAA, and unfortunately we're now at the mercy of the FAA to review and let us know. Let's see, and hopefully we'll have hydro energy and drone manufacturer coming within the next couple of weeks. And then we just continue on in our process. So I really appreciate your time this morning. I know our previous request and your current membership is at $10,000 annually. And I have not submitted a formal request for increase, but of course we would always be appreciative and willing to accept should the board decide to increase that, help us extend the funds even further. Thank you all. If there's any questions or comments.
Just thank you for your work and service. Any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, my pleasure. And our annual meeting is scheduled for October 8th. We're planning a clay shoot. We're going to get in that clay shoot game before everybody else uses it up. So we'd love for you guys to attend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, and last but not least, Akon Clinic Executive Director, Bahak.
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners. Soon to be afternoon. I am going to be very quick for that reason. My name is Pyle Bhakta. I am the Executive Director at Acorn Dental Clinic. I started in Acorn in 2013 as the dentist, and then slowly worked myself up to clinic director, dental director, and now ED as of February. I have been at Acorn because I absolutely love Acorn, and so I'm going to go through a little bit of the history before I explain how your money helps the patients at Acorn, your residents. Acorn is an affordable, comprehensive, nonprofit dental clinic that sees kids, adults, and seniors. We serve 24 counties, but of the 24 counties, 21% of our patients are made up of Bradford residents, and 20% of our visits are Bradford residents. We see about 307 patients from Bradford, and they come for 879 visits. So what that means is we really try to emphasize comprehensive care. Emergency care does happen at Acorn, so if someone has a toothache, I'm a sucker. If they walk in, I will always see them. But I really do try to emphasize coming back and getting ahead of things before they become problematic. The money that you provide subsidizes care, so I'm going to explain what that means. Last week, Kismet, there was a child whose mom called the clinic on Wednesday afternoon. She was in pain. I saw her. The child was 10 years old. She had medical complexities. She was on the autism spectrum disorder, and she had alpha-gal syndrome, but she couldn't tolerate the clinic, the noise, the sound, the smells. We have a metal playground in the backyard. She went and played on the playground. I anesthetized her outside, and on the monkey bars, I took out her tooth that was infected for her. The mom had gone to private practice, and the cost was going to be $405 for the tooth to come out. At Acorn, her charge was $120. When you give funding to Acorn, that money subsidizes the cost between what it would cost normally for that procedure and what we charge to that patient. So of those 300 patients or 307 residents from Bradford County that we saw, if they came 879 visits, if each visit was a loss of $100, that was an $87,000 loss that Acorn would have received. So the money that you provide helps to cover that loss. We appreciate the funding that you give. It does go towards your residents directly in the form of care, whether it's cleanings, fillings, extractions, dentures, partials, crowns. The cost for the procedures differentiates. There's always an extraction costs less than it would for a filling just based on disposables, but just know that the funds that you give are utilized towards patient care. This year, so last year, I'm going to talk about the future for Acorn. This year, we are opening a food pantry for residents. It is actually opening tomorrow. We partner with Bread of the Mighty. We are hoping that patients understand that oral health care starts with the foods that you eat, but also whole health care is the same. We are going in the process of opening a clothes closet for residents at that area as well. What I'm hoping is that as patients come to the clinic, they have other opportunities and other amenities that they're able to utilize. We are a rural clinic. We are at the border of Alachua County and Bradford County, so a lot of our residents are not from the cities, they are from the country. So to have an area where they can stop, a one-stop shop for things, is what I'm hoping to expand services for. The money that I am receiving or asking for is gonna go straight to patient care, but I am just letting you know other things that will be offered at the clinic. I had just come into this role. I'm very nervous right now, so I apologize. I just came into this role in February. I've always just been the dentist, and I've always loved being just the dentist. I am still on the clinic floor, but I do ask that if you guys are free and want to come out and see the clinic, please do. To anyone, I love partnership, I love collaboration, and I'm hoping to have, Acorn has been there for 50 years, I'm hoping to see it for 50 more. Thank you. Questions?
No comment. Thank you all for the amazing work that you do out there.
Thank
Any
you.
questions, comments from the board?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was all of our community organizations. This time we'll ask the clerk if you have a report. Okay. And from our sheriff.
Sheriff has a
yes.
report.
Okay. All right. And my county manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to refer back to a couple of items on the agenda. First of all, item 5, the approval of the gas tax funds. The total amount for those 6 roads that Mr. Dodds mentioned is $520,433. That will be part of the CIP that will come before you on the 21st of this month at your workshop. So all that will be documented in that process. Also, item 7, the item we just completed, the community organization requests. This will also come before you on May 21st at the budget workshop. That'll give you time to evaluate each request individually and also consult with county staff should you have any other questions.
Can I
Yes.
Mr. Cornegay,
Go ahead.
on that, when we go over that, can we see what we did last year?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cornegay
Yes.
and Ms. Andrews, I spoke to Dana. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, she's going to put that together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And also, Senator Bradley had to leave. He apologizes, and he indicated that he has no report. Finally, I draw your attention to the last page of the agenda. Upcoming meeting dates, our budget workshop is Thursday, May 21st at 5:30 p.m. Your regularly scheduled Board of County Commission meeting is immediately following that workshop on May 21st at 6:30 p.m. And then your next regularly scheduled Board of County Commissioners meeting is Tuesday, June 2nd at 9:30 a.m., followed by the second meeting of June on the 18th at 6:30 p.m. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And now the commissioner's comment. Mr. Doyle.
I don't really have any other than, just going through the requests. And like I said, I did, walk down and speak to Ms. LaFollette a little while ago. And I think we're considerably more than the requests that we had last year. So I think that really needs to be looked at hard. We have some new requests, and then we have some that are increased from not only the prior year, but prior years. So we certainly need to take a look at that, and where we'd like to fund all of them, especially, like I said, a new program. I really like the things that you're saying and the program itself. Talking about, for the boys, and then also, we talk about PACE, for the girls. So we're certainly trying to cover, all of our youth and make sure that we're going in the right direction for our youth. So any other, opportunities that may be out there for each of you, I would, certainly recommend whatever type of fundraisers are out there to, try to get involved with those too, because, our funds are very limited, and certainly, if there's anything we can do to help with those fundraising activities, and I'm sure that each of us has done that in the past. Most recently, of course, Commissioner Riddick with the rec department, and I know all of you have been involved in different things, but certainly any way we can help and try to get it to where the fundraisers are helping you all without the big requests that are coming to the county. That's really all I have to say, and I may get up and leave right at 11:45, but I do need to be somewhere, so I'll sit as long as I can. Thank you.
This is the most important place you gotta be.
I know, this is it.
All right,
But
thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Reddick?
Yeah, I thank everyone for being here today. Thank you for all y'all do. And that program that you're trying to get started, that's be an excellent program for these young boys. I tell you, I see it. It's a shame a lot of our kids nowadays don't even know which end of a weed eater to hold. And and like you said, to change a tire or something like that, something that back in my day would be a common thing, is not common anymore because of the screen time. They work their thumbs more than anything else. So, but I do appreciate the program you're trying to get started, and we'll see what we can do. But work with you. And everyone else, I appreciate what y'all are doing. Thank y'all so much.
Okay. Mr. Thompson? Mr. Andrews?
Yes, well, I had written down to acknowledge our fire department for everything that they had been through, and the homes they have saved. It has been quite a challenge for them. And then we received information that in my district there was a fire, and I believe there was fatalities. Like I said, those people, words can't express how much I appreciate them and how much each one of you should, because what they do is life-saving. And they deal with things just like with death like this, is that what they go through emotionally and all, that's a lot to deal with. And so I ask you to pray for them, and pray for the family that was affected in the fire. And thank y'all for being here.
Okay. I'll be as brief as possible. Commissioner Riddick mentioned to you early on to keep in prayer the Mortimer family. Darryl Mortimer was a former employee, actually, of the county road department and also the city of Stark road department. He passed away Sunday, and funeral arrangements are being made for him for this on Friday here in Stark. But Janet Mortimer, our city commissioner, is his spouse. Also, I just want to acknowledge the passing of the volunteer firefighter, Mr. James Kevin Cruz from the Hilliard County area, perished while fighting a fire. And I just can't emphasize how important to adhere to the burn ban. We still have people in our community that are not, and it's inexcusable not to. And Captain Witt is back there in the back, and every day these men and women are going out to battle these fires, and we need to do everything that we can in our own power to be responsible enough not to contribute towards it. Also, just a reminder, the police memorial for May the 14th, 5:30, that's going to be in Lake Butler, and we need to, if you're able to, so that we can honor our folk. Also the National Day of Prayer that was mentioned earlier, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the 7th at the City Square. And Concerned Citizens May Day program on May the 16th starts at 11 o'clock, and it'll be at the RJE Complex. And I want to give a shout out to Candace Osteen. She chairs the Tobacco-Free Bradford Committee, and they've done an outstanding job in educating our students about the harms of tobacco, the vaping, and drugs. And she gave accolades to all of us who served on our committee, but she is the one who should be recognized for moving that forward for the tobacco-free environment. And with that, I just wanted to thank our clerk's office too in helping us getting through our budget workshops and all of the things that have been articulated in terms of looking at everything that we can do without, what we can cut, looking at our professional services, all of those contracts. And I know you guys are working on that, but looking at everything that we have budget-wise that we can evaluate to see if we can make improvements on this important for us in our workshop. And I know that I guess I fussed a little bit, but I want us to try to prioritize those critical roads in our community that are unpaved so that we can elevate the life and safety of people who live in those areas. And with that,
Madam Chairman, if I may,
Yeah.
you reminded me, the burn ban is still in effect.
Yes.
We want to reiterate that. I know we got a little bit of rain last week. I live in the southeast end of the county and I got less than 1/4 of an inch in my house. So the other areas of the county that did receive some rainfall, still not enough to cause us to even consider lifting the burn ban. So just want to keep everyone aware of this and do not slip into complacency just because we got that little bit of rain. And the burn ban will continue until the staff determines that it's no longer needed. So thank you.
And I also want to thank the jail and Meridian working together so that they can improve opportunities for people to get treatment for substance and mental health care. All right. With that, if nothing more, this meeting is adjourned.